Hello, Internet. This is Mixtress Ray. I know it's been a while. I've had this particular video in mind for a long time. Um, one of the curses of, one of the good curses of having all these different outlets. I have a zine, I have a radio station, I have a blog, and I have this channel. So every time I have an idea for something, I have to think, okay, is that better for the zine or the blog or the channel or the radio station? So since my primary focus last year was the radio station in 2014, I pretty much funneled most of my creativity into the radio station, but this particular idea needs to have a more visual medium. So in general in my life, I'm committed to continually being more minimal. I'd like to buy less. I'd like to waste less. And so for a while now, I've had this idea that I only need 10 pairs of shoes. And so I finally narrowed down what these 10 pairs of shoes are, and I'm going to give you a little tour of them. Now, I do have more, full disclosure, I do have more than 10 pairs of shoes. These are just the top 10, the ones that when they wear out, I will replace them with a similar pair. And my argument is that these are the only ones that matter. These are the only categories of shoes that matter. So I'm going to give you a little tour of my top 10 shoes and why I think they're the only ones that I need to replace. So this is the wide shot of all of them together. And then I will show you them close up. So here are Mixtress Ray's top 10 shoes. Okay, so I've decided to show you my top 10 pairs of shoes in no particular order. So each of these shoes have a function. Some of them are very specific, like I will replace the exact brand and type of shoe until the end of time kind of shoes, and some of them are more general. Like for example, this pair of shoes, I don't know what they are. Let's see, there's this little dude. It's like a nature cush. I guess it's Cush because there's the label right there. And I got these a few years ago. They're just comfortable, flat shoes. So they fulfill the category of basic flat work shoe. Something that I can, and all of my shoes are pretty much fit into the category of something that I can walk in. So that's what these are. That's what they all are, except for my one pair of high heels that I'll show you. Oh, and there's going to be a giveaway at the end of, after I show you all 10 shoes, there's a pair that I'm going to give away if you are interested. So there's also that. But these are just a good, simple pair of comfortable shoes. They did take some breaking in because they are leather. So they weren't very comfortable the first like 10 or so times that I wore them, but they're very comfortable now. And it's just nice to have a simple pair of flats to slip on anytime. So that's those. My next essential top 10 pair of shoes are just some running shoes because I do run, or I try to run like at least twice a week. And these particular ones are New Balance 110s apparently. They were rated as a top like budget trail running shoe because I do like to run outside if I can, but they work fine running inside as well. They're just like nice light running shoes, so it's one of my top 10 shoes because I will always buy another pair of running shoes when my current pair wears out. Next, my only pair. I feel like I will only need one pair of heels in my life at a time. So while I do have a couple other pairs as well, I never wear heels. In fact, I've worn these shoes probably twice, and I've had them for at least 2 years, I think. So they're just nice Mary Jane basic heels. They're not even that uncomfortable, but since I do walk to work, it's one of those things that I just never wear them. But I think it is good to have one pair of basic heels. So for now, that's what these are. Next category of shoe for me is brown boots. I will always want to have one pair of black boots and one pair of brown boots. These are just some basic boots from Target, and they're comfortable. They're probably still on sale now, actually, because I got them pretty recently. So if you like them, they were just like $30 at Target, and you know, they're not going to last forever. They don't have the greatest soles, not the greatest workmanship. They're not real leather, obviously, because they're from Target. But they are pretty nice, and they go with, you know, earth tone outfits. So that's my fourth category of shoe is some pair of brown boots. The next category, this is the most boring category, and it's just flip-flops, because, I mean, in the summer, when you're going to the beach or you're going to the pool, you need just a basic pair of flip-flops, so there's nothing remarkable about these. I've had them several years because I only wear them when I go to the pool, and that's it. So, you know, it is an essential pair of shoes to have a pair of just regular flip-flops, but it's not that much of an important thing. Sorry, my dogs are trying to break in right now. And now we get down to the top 5 pairs. These are the ones that when I will replace with the exact same type of, same brand of shoe, same everything. So this one is, these I will probably never have to replace. They are vegetarian shoes made in England. I don't think this particular model of shoe is made anymore because I got these, let's see, when did I get these? Probably 2004. So they're, or maybe 05. Probably 04 though. So they're, you know, over 10 years old. They've got a steel toe under there. They've been, you know, artfully scuffed up over the years. They're vegan boots. And whatever it is that they made them out of, this is a very tough material. I mean, it's got scuffs on it and everything else, but it's just a really good, like snow boot, winter boot, hiking boot. These are for, you know, anytime, like after the tornado when I had to clean out my house, these are the boots that I wore every day. After an ice storm that destroyed all the trees in our backyard a couple years before that, these are my lumberjack boots that I used every single day to clear up all the limbs in our huge backyard. And they're my hiking boots, and I have used them a lot in the last 10 years, and the soles are still, as you can see, very pronounced. So I would definitely recommend them. I think it's just vegetarianshoes.com. If you're interested. I think they were probably the first pair of shoes I ever bought that were $100, but way worth it. Way worth it, because they're just great hiking shoes. The only problem with them is that they're heavy and they take a long time to put on since they are lace up, and they have 3, 6, 9, 12, 14 eye. They're 14 eye lace ups, so they are kind of a pain in the ass to put on, but and lug around with you all day. So if you're wearing them for long periods of time, they can get kind of cumbersome. But they're good shoes for crazy weather or work situations. So that's definitely a top 5 shoe right there. And if anything ever happens to these, I will buy another pair. This next pair I literally just got in the mail a couple days ago, and they're Doc Martin Mary Janes. I have not broke their actual leather, and I'm kind of against buying leather as a rule, but I will buy it if it's something that is either vintage or is going to last me a really, really, really long time. So I have no reason to believe that these shoes won't last me 15 or 20 years. Right now they're intensely uncomfortable because they are, that's just how Doc Martin leather boots are. I've only worn them around the house because I just got them a couple days ago, and they're so uncomfortable that I will have a lot of trouble wearing them for over like an hour at first. But in my mind, one of my top 10 essential pairs of shoes is a good sturdy pair of Mary Janes. So I haven't had that for a long time, so I was actually waiting to do this video until I had my good pair of sturdy Mary Janes, and now I finally do. So I'm kind of obsessed with these shoes right now. I've been looking up online how to break in Docs, and I mean, basically, the only thing you can do is wear them as long as you can possibly stand it with thick socks. And then eventually they will form to your feet perfectly and be super comfortable. So this is the hard part, is breaking them in. I hate breaking in shoes, I really do. It's so hard because you want to wear them all the time, but you can't. And once you finally get to that sweet spot, they're amazing. But haven't gotten there yet, obviously, because I just got these. But I'm really excited to break them in, and I'm sure I will have them for a very long time. Just a good basic shoe. I'm a big believer in, the whole reason why I have this top 10 shoe thing is because I'm a big believer in, like, putting forth the cash of buying a really good quality shoe that will last you for a decade or more. So I never regretted buying those vegetarian shoes that cost me $100. I will probably never regret buying these, which I was able to get for $60 because I had some Christmas money to put towards it. So yeah, anyway, excited about these. They're definitely in my top 5 because a good pair of Mary Janes is good for you. Good and good for you. Another just essential shoes in my top 3 right here. I will always have a pair of Converse low tops. The high tops look weird on me, so I just like the low tops because they're just a good basic sneaker, and they're timeless. I mean, you can't go wrong. They're definitely not going to offer much protection for weather or rough terrain, but just as a good basic sneaker, you can't go wrong. So I will always have a pair of Converse in my life, and they don't last really long. I can probably make a pair of Converse last a couple years, but eventually they crack right there a lot. They eventually get to the point where the whole side of it is cracked open, and then the bottom starts cracking. But I mean, they're $40 shoes, and they last a good year and a half or so, so I will always have a pair of Converse. My number 2 in my top 10 shoes are Chaco sandals. That's CHACO. These are eventually, I've rubbed them down pretty far. I could probably get another 2 summers out of them maybe. The great thing about Chacos is they have a lifetime guarantee. You can send them back to get them re-threaded with new straps anytime, and it just costs, you know, like 20 bucks. You can get them resoled, which is just this bottom portion of the sole, which is why I need to do it soon before it wears completely through to the next sole. You can get them resoled, so they have a lifetime guarantee. You can just basically, you know, send these through the washer, send them back to the company, and they will replace any part of the shoes. Like, for example, my dog chewed through a couple of the straps a few years ago, and I just sent it in and they replaced it, and it cost me like 15 bucks or something. So that was awesome. And they're just comfortable. You can hike in them. They're probably the most comfortable pair of shoes I have. So of course I can only wear them in the like warmer months of the year, but they are essential shoes. Like, when it comes down to it, yeah, anyway, I'll get to that. But my Chacos are my best friend, and I will always have a pair of Chacos. Now for my number one pair of shoes in my top 10, my Doc Marten boots. I got these probably about 3 years ago, and I just love them. I am getting to the point where I'm wearing the sole down a lot. I've already worn the sole down a lot, and this is how nerdy I am about this particular pair of Docs. For my birthday, my mom, I asked for them. She bought me a new pair, brand new pair of these exact boots. But I could probably get another year out of these. And even then, they'll still be wearable, but I will have just worn the sole down a lot at that point. But anyway, I'm glad to have a backup pair because, you know, they stopped making this particular, and it's canvas. So I didn't really need to break these in like you would normal Docs. They were kind of stiff in the beginning, but they have formed perfectly to my feet by now. And they're amazing, and they're comfortable, and they go with everything. So a pair of, and these are just the regular 1460, just the classic Doc Martens boot, and they're my favorite. They're my number one favorite shoes, and I am so glad to have a backup pair. So I will have these particular style and pattern of boots for at least the next, I would say, 5 to 10 years. I'm ready to go as soon as these wear out. So all in all, I'm going to put my top 5 up here. In just a really haphazard fashion here. These right here are the only 5 pairs of shoes that I completely need, because these are good for everyday fall and winter and spring. I mean, really. And these are good for everyday spring and summer. And these are good. I mean, these are all everyday shoes except for the vegetarian boots, which are, you know, for any other situation that you need. And, you know, if push comes to shove, I probably could work out in these just as well. I could run in those just as well, honestly. I mean, they're just tennis shoes. How much difference in tennis shoes are there, really? So yeah, those are my top 10 shoes. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Now it's time to show you the giveaway pair of shoes. This is a pair of, I mean, I don't know if this is a good brand or not. I think it's just, you know, just like a cheapy brand of shoes. But it's, I got them, oh God, like 2 or 3 years ago, and I've never worn them because they're actually a little bit too small for me. So I've only worn them around the house. So they're basically brand new shoes. but they're size 7 in US women's. And I normally wear a 7.5, but I think these are even like a bit snug for 7s because I thought that I could probably squeeze my feet into them, which I can, but they're pretty tight for sure. So if you wear, you know, sort of like a 6.5 or have dainty 7 feet, then these will fit you. But they're pretty nice looking, good for a night out and all that stuff. They just are, number one, I don't really wear heels, and number two, they're just too small for me. So if you would like these shoes, just leave a comment. I will probably have you like send, if you're in the United States, like have you send me like $5 on my PayPal account to cover the shipping costs, and I will send them to you. So let me know if you are interested in these, and thanks for watching my top 10 shoes video. See you guys in a couple weeks.